Ford buyers are arguing about value from several angles at once. Cindy for Arbeidertsidaish kaun gekentinnu. Nariditanar damas a near $40,000 base. F-150, work truck ergonomics that make simple tasks harder. Bronco complaints about daily usability, expensive or awkward repairs, early owner-reported failures, and one Bronco Sport fire, tied by the owner to a fuel injector recall. Model year, engine, mileage, warranty status, and maintenance history matter, so the real question is not whether every Ford is good or bad. It is how much price, complexity, repairability, and safety risk change the ownership equation.
What in the actual fuck, Ford? I sell these things for a living. And this is a 2025 F-150. It's an XL two-wheel drive, like work truck, like basic work truck. It doesn't get any more basic than this one. Look at this. $39,345. How the fuck am I supposed to sell these things, Ford? 40 grand for a base model two-wheel drive truck? Like, you're making it hard on me. But if you guys know anybody looking for one of these things, holler at your boy. Peace.
Laptop on their center console. Meanwhile, we completely ditched this timeless design that was honestly perfect, where we put the shifter on the steering column, where you actually had an entirely flat space and a third seat. Here at Ford, we designed this fucking shifter that we spent thousands of dollars to engineer because we know that our blue-collar customers can't go a full work shift without gooning at least once. So we made sure that we gave a place for them to put their laptop. Like we said, we spent a lot of money designing this shifter, but we needed to make sure that they could still put their...
Ford, this is a message for you. I bought my dream car. I was so excited for this Ford Bronco. It's a Sasquatch edition, perfect, obsessed, hard top. Love it, okay? Even spent extra for the mats to go into the car. Now, my problem is, look, I was even excited. See, I got a hat. This console holds no drinks. What's the point of having a console if it's not going to hold any drinks, okay? And it even has these clips here to hold them. It doesn't hold them. I go over the smallest bump, a drink falls every time. And I have a daughter, I have an 11-year-old daughter. So what, is she not supposed to drink anything in the back? I don't know. So I called Ford. They said, take it to a dealership and get it diagnosed to see if it's faulty. My bone now is coffee spilled everywhere. There was stains here. I cleaned it, but it went under here and now it stinks like horrible, disgusting milk. And I am irritated. They need to do something about this. I'm not happy. I spent a lot of money for my dream car and that shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening. It's a horrible design. They need to fix it. And they also need to detail my car.
Hey guys, are you in the market looking to buy a new Ford Bronco? Well, guess what? This is your sign to not buy one. Why? You may think, your window may be cracked open. Nope, it's sure not. It's being blown out by the heavy ass wind. I've been listening to this shit for the past 3 hours. And guess what? I got 2 more hours left to go. Look at that. Let me roll it down. Let's roll it back up. Nope. Doesn't fix. I got it. The doors come off. It needs a little flexibility, right? Come on, it's 2026. Ford, let's get your shit together. Let's figure something out, okay? Fuck.
Come on, let me turn the AC on. I get it, you're a Ford. Let me turn the fucking AC on. Was it that hard? That simple.
A high sticker price raises the standard for basic usability. The 2025 F-150X L-Seller balks at roughly $39,000 for a two-wheel drive work truck, while other owners criticize the console shifter, climate controls, Bronco cup holders, and highway wind noise. None of those complaints proves poor mechanical reliability, but they do affect value every day. Routine service is where convenience turns into labor time and repair cost.
Alright, to check the trans fluid level in this F-150 here, you just got to take this little cap off and then you could reach the tiny little plastic dipstick. But in order to check it at the correct level, you have to have the vehicle at operating temperature, or at least the transmission fluid. What's great about that is when you get this trans fluid to operating temperature, this cat right here is 13,000 degrees, and you can't get your hand up in here without losing the back of your hand. It's fantastic.
Ford, you're one sneaky bitch. If someone's ever done an oil change on this Ford before, you'd think like, hey, oil filter's right there, so obviously it's gonna drain right here because, you know, it's right there, so it's like there's got to be a path that goes right there. No, Ford's trying to bamboozle motherfuckers. It only takes it happening once for you to learn your mistakes. Then you gotta deal with this dumb shit again. Jesus Christ, I hate it here.
I'm so mad I can't even breathe.
I wonder if people realize when they buy these things, you know, which aren't cheap nowadays, full-size trucks, that when you get underneath them, you got this cardboard-esque crap, whatever, that you have to remove to get your plastic oil pan with a plastic drain plug. I mean, that's about as throwaway as you can get. And this is a #1 selling truck. I don't know. I wouldn't buy it.
Here's a perfect example of why Ford sucks ass. So, see that metal pan, that fresh pan right there? Well, that pan was originally that plastic with the stupid drain plug was leaking all over the place. You'd think this thing would have like an actual gasket or something, but it's literally just RTV. So I got to replace this thing with a solid aluminum pan. And not this one that you see right here. It's a solid aluminum pan with a Dorman number ending in 323. That pan will not swap out with this one. The oil pickup tubes are different. So I spent all this time pulling the diff down and all this extra bullshit on this 3.5 2018 F-150 just to have to return the oil pan because and buy a freaking pickup tube and to have to return that too because the other pickup tubes will not work with this pan or with this oil pump. So you have to buy this specific part number, Dorman, and you can't even get this. If you can find one of these local in your area, you're lucky because nobody stocks this. All the other ones you see on Amazon, they have that same style drain plug. You don't want that. You want one like this. How much better of a design is that? You would think Ford would come up with that themselves, but they're not going to. So you got to drop. I think you could probably get to this without dropping the differential. You're probably gonna have to remove these oil cooler lines with coolant, but trans cooler lines. I mean, as you see, I just have them clamped off. But who makes a plastic oil pan? Look, plastic trans pan too. Just engineer a steel stamped pan. Is it that hard?
Come on. That's just one cylinder check engine.
Take the bag of garbage down the driveway.
This is my love letter to the Ford Motor Company, Jim Farley, CEO of it, and whoever in the company this video may concern. This is a 1999 Ford Taurus. It's got 70,000 miles on it, and I gave my 226,000 mile Chevy Silverado with the 5.3 to a kid who did not have his license but really wanted a truck and did not want this Taurus. It's been sitting 2 years, doesn't need a lot of maintenance because it was only one owner. Only thing it really needs is hubs, brakes, and a fluid flush. Now, ever since I was 6 years old, my dad and my entire family has collected the worst of Dodge, Chevy, GMC, Toyota. Best thing I think we ever had when I was growing up was a damn Mercury that my grandma bought brand new and sold at 60,000 miles. That was the only vehicle we owned that had any trade-in value at that time. I've held the flashlight from my father and watched him put endless parts into Dodge Neons, Dodge Rams, old Chevy Cavaliers, Trailblazers, you name it. I saw parts get thrown into that. It was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but we not only got more miles out of those vehicles, but I learned a lesson every time I watched my dad fix these vehicles. Without that level of know-how that my family had, we wouldn't have survived. We would have had no jobs, no food, and we wouldn't have had to put gas in anything that wasn't running. We went from calling it a skill to a survival instinct. And these days, it cannot be more prevalent that this skill is very much survival instinct. So for you to complain about the minimal revenue you get because people are not taking their vehicles into mechanics and they're not taking their vehicles in the dealerships to get fixed is absolutely a complaint I just don't give two craps about. As a matter of fact, I say it was a complete atrocity that in 2011 and 2014 you released the worst line of cars that I think the world had ever seen, such as the Focus and Fusion. At 200,000 miles, it should just be a simple pull out the engine and stab a new one in, none of this computerized bullshit. But you did it because you thought that if it was complicated enough for us not to work on it, then we would just have to pay you hand over fist to fix these issues. Well, Jim, that's not how I operate. That's why I got a 1999. And to go to our politicians and say that you want to enact laws to make people not able to work on their vehicles, making it even against the law for people like me to work on our vehicles so we could get to our jobs, so we could put food on our table, is absolutely disgusting. So in response to that, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to replace the hub and brakes and probably put new rims on this thing, either in my driveway or in my friend's driveway. If that transmission craps out at 150,000 miles like y'all kind of designed it to do, I'm going to stab a new one in, either in my driveway or my friend's driveway. Whenever there's a water pump leak, radiator leak, thrown serpentine belt, busted alternator, airbox failure, MAF sensor goes out, whether I am in my driveway or on the side of the damn road, I will fix it then and there. And there is not a hot damn thing you can do about it to make me not. Refer to my first HOA video if you want to find out.
Serviceability is more than a mechanic's annoyance. Checking F150 transmission fluid beside hot components, messy oil filter drainage, plastic pans, and a 2018 3.5-liter EcoBoost oil pan swap with part-specific pickup tube compatibility all add labor and room for mistakes. Ford says it sells Motorcraft Service Information Access for $19.94 and newer vehicles. The stronger criticism is not that home repair is impossible, but that complexity in access can make it slower and more expensive.
2023 F-150 FXT EcoBoost. Two-wheel drive. This thing's got 23,000 miles on it, and the rear main seal is leaking already. What the Ford?
Hey, take it from a Ford owner. Fords suck. All right, if you're thinking like Chevy or Ford, go Chevy. This F-150, it finds a new noise to make every day, I swear to God. Nothing's wrong with this truck. I just bought this truck. This truck is squeaky clean, and every day there's a new problem with it. Oh.
Want to know how to unlock a Ford? You hit the unlock button a whole bunch of times. Sometimes in a pattern. Sometimes you hold it for a while. And eventually, it might. Nope. Maybe. Wait for it. Unlock. Piece of shit.
Of course it's starting to die. 2022 Ford hit its warranty, so you get 36,000 miles or 3 years, right? So we're good still on mileage, just barely. But we just passed the 3-year mark last month, so we'll see if warranty covers it. But watch this shit. hit the button, roll the window down. Window roll. Go to roll the window back up. Hit the button. Window doesn't roll up on its own. It automatically rolls back down as soon as it hits it. So you gotta just play with it. You gotta just go right when it gets to the top. You just gotta let go of the button so it doesn't force itself back down. So now I gotta go take it in to get it fixed. Hopefully it's covered under warranty, but we'll see.
Early failures deserve careful wording. A 2023 F150 owner reports a rear main seal leak at 23,000 miles. Another newly purchased F150 develops new noises, a separate Ford has an unreliable unlock function, and a 2022 owner shows a window that reverses at the top. Ford lists bumper-to-bumper coverage at 3 years or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first, so low mileage alone does not preserve coverage. None of those reports by itself proves a model-wide defect.
A couple weeks ago, my Bronco Sport 2022 Big Bend burst into flames as I was backing into my driveway. I shifted my car into reverse, tried to back up, saw the smoke in my car, got out, and then this is what it looked like within a minute of me exiting the car. This car only being a 2022, I've had it since 2023. I got it brand new with like 7 miles on it. And I drove about 50,000 miles on it before this happened. As you can see, the car is totaled. What may cause this, you may ask? Well, I had the same question. This is the inside. Ford has an active recall on Bronco Sports from 2021 to 2024. This is in fact true. You can look it up, Google it, do whatever your investigators do. And this active recall was for a possibility of having a cracked fuel injector. When a fuel injector is cracked, the fuel leaks into the hot engine, which can cause a fire. Ta-da! Ford decided to come up with an interim fix that updates the software in your car to let you know when this cracked fuel injector is like happening so you can avoid fires, right? Here it is. And we only got one letter about this recall, which was last year. And after this, we actually ended up getting that interim fix done at our dealer. So they installed the software and whatever, because they didn't have the part for the cracked fuel injector, right? They don't have it, and they still don't. So as you can see here, when the remedy is available, Ford Motor Company will send a letter to inform you to contact your dealer to schedule a repair. Ford has not issued instructions to stop driving your vehicle under this safety recall. So Ford's like, your car might blow up and it might spontaneously catch on fire, but you can drive it. It's safe. Don't worry. So this fire happened due to Ford's negligence. I took pride into my car. We took care of her. We did everything we possibly could around the clock. Oil changes, inspections, tire changes, everything you could possibly think of on time. And this is where she ended up. In a junkyard. I was in that car when it started smoking, which means the car was already on fire under the hood when I was in the driver's seat. I am lucky I got out. The Ford Motor Company rather makes sales than care about the safety of their customers, as you can tell, because if they cared, they wouldn't have these trucks on the road still without having a permanent solution to this, right? If you own a Bronco Sport between the years 2020 and 2024, and you look up your VIN number on Ford's website, and this comes up as a recall, your car is a part of this situation, and your car also might spontaneously catch on fire. I called Ford to file a claim about this, to let them know that this happened, and they called me back the next day saying that it wasn't their problem. Because it's not Ford's problem that they have an active recall that can cause your vehicle to just catch on fire and potentially put you at danger and maybe death. Even though I am gratefully physically okay, watching your car go up in flames when there's nothing you can do about it is really scary. So please proceed with caution when dealing with Ford.
The Bronco Sport fire has a stronger factual anchor, but the exact cause of one burned vehicle still cannot be diagnosed from an owner account alone. Ford recalled two 5 S76 covers, about 858,000 2021 to 2024 Bronco Sport, and 2020 to 2022 Escape SUVs with 1.5-liter engines because cracked injectors can leak fuel and raise underhood fire risk. Ford says 8 related fires were known, no injuries were reported, earlier remedies did not prevent injector cracking, and a new hardware remedy was still being developed. Coverage is VIN specific.
That's why you don't buy Ford, people. That's why you don't buy the Ford. You can't park there. That's a bad day for them. And I just got the Toyota, thank God. Oh my God.
I gotta just ask, at what point are these companies gonna take some personal responsibility when you have other companies like Toyota and Honda having record quarters? At what point do we say to these companies like, hey, you can blame whoever you want, whether you like the president or not. You can look at this and go, you guys don't make reliable vehicles. Yeah, there's F-150s out there, like there's Silverados out there over 250,000 miles. Both these companies make good trucks, but like the rest of the vehicles, like are all crapping out at 150, 160,000 miles, need a whole new transmission, very expensive repair cost. Like you can throw Stellantis in there and like Jeep and Land Rover and all these are completely unreliable vehicles. Like really high repair cost, like no longevity to the vehicle for the most part, except for the trucks. And so like, you can keep blaming other things, but I just look at this and I'm like, at what point are you guys gonna have something that'll go 300,000 or 400,000 miles like a Honda or Toyota will? So if you're buying something at this point, I like it if like, I get it. You wanna buy, you know, a US company or something like that, that's fine, I understand it. But the number of failed brands under each of these major logos shows you that a lot of this stuff just doesn't end up lasting and the quality is just no good. So like I bought a truck recently. Like I love the way the Silverados look. I wanted to buy a Silverado for 6 months. I was like black Silverado, like black tint, everything, all like matte black out. It was amazing, like exactly what I wanted. But like there's a lot of Tundras and Tacomas driving around at like 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 miles. Drive down the highway right now. See how many Tacomas are out there at like 300,000 plus miles. Just truck it along, no problem. And ultimately my decision was to get a Tundra. I'm a big guy, I need a little bit more room. And I gotta pay for it, right? You gotta pay more for a Tundra than a Tacoma. But ultimately it just makes sense at that point. Like, yeah, there are Fords and there are Silverados that are out there. There are trucks that are pretty decent. But for the most part, 150, 160,000 miles, you're gonna go, this vehicle is too expensive to maintain. I'm gonna drop it because the repair cost, a new transmission, new engine, whatever it is just too much. It's gonna be more affordable just to get a newer vehicle. And so I don't feel bad for these companies. They can blame whatever they want, but really it's your own fault, guys, for not making reliable vehicles. And you've had that reputation now for 30 or 40 years. It's like, it's not changing. So you can change it though, it's your company.
The strongest conclusion is narrower than the anger. Ford ownership can become poor value when a high purchase price is followed by awkward controls, difficult service access, early repairs, expired warranty coverage, or a verified safety recall. But a noisy F-15, a failed window, or one leaking seal cannot define every engine, model year, or truck. The useful buying test is specific. Check the VIN for recalls. Compare the exact powertrain and year. Price the repairs you cannot do yourself. And judge the vehicle by the work it must perform. Buy the configuration, not the badge. Thanks for watching.